My parents called me a dropout loser, and my sister uninvited me from her wedding to protect her image. Later, they found out I wasn't a loser at all, but I'd already set strict boundaries for any future contact. The Forbes notification hit my phone at 7:42 in the evening. Same minute, my sister Cecilia was walking down the aisle at the Rosewood Mansion. The article had already gained serious traction. Picture of the governor on stage and our company name in the headline. Caption called me a visionary entrepreneur disrupting the restaurant supply industry. My company was valued at $35 million that night, would hit 55 by year's end. But in that moment, $35 million was enough. My buddy Owen, married steady, the calmest guy I know, was sitting next to me in his suit. He caught my expression and flipped my phone face down without a word. Let it breathe, he said. For most of my life, I was the family disappointment, the dropout who could not finish anything. My sister Cecilia was the golden child. Master of Business Administration from Northwestern Director of Supply Chain, pulling $190,000 a year. Engaged to Preston, whose family owned urgent care clinics across Texas. My name is Garrett. I left college after 2 years. My parents told everyone I could not handle it. Never asked why I actually left. Just decided I was failing and moved on. I did not leave because I was flunking. I left because I finally saw the math. That spring, my days looked like this. Class shift at Lies, then Owen's apartment with my laptop open until my eyes felt gritty. I was not studying, I was building. One morning I walked into a lecture and realized I could not tell you what the professor had been talking about for 10 minutes. Not because it was hard, because my brain was at a bar inventory screen that did not exist yet. After class, I stopped by the academic office, asked about taking fewer credits. The woman behind the counter slid a paper across the desk. Numbers that meant one thing. I would be paying for school to sit in a room thinking about a company I was not allowed to build. That night, Owen and I sat in his apartment with a spreadsheet open between us. Not a dream spreadsheet, a brutal one. What it would cost to stay, what it would cost to leave. Owen pointed at the line that mattered. If we wait 2 more years, he said, someone else builds it, and we go back to pouring drinks for people who do not know what inventory is. I thought about my parents, about their pride in the idea of a degree, not in me and the paper. So I withdrew the next week. My parents heard dropout, I heard start. Every family dinner followed the same script. Cecilia talking about logistics optimization and quarterly targets. Preston chiming in about expansion plans and foundation work. Mom beaming like Cecilia had cured cancer. Me, I would mention landing an account. Mom would get this pinched look and change subjects fast. That is nice, Garrett. Cecilia, tell everyone about your promotion. The worst part was not the invisibility. It was the act of contempt. Last Christmas, Dad pulled me aside in the kitchen. Try not to embarrass us tonight, he said, his voice low. He glanced back toward Preston's father, then looked at me like I was a problem to manage. I was 26 years old, running a company, and my father was telling me to be quiet. I stayed for another hour, then left without saying goodbye. Owen was the only person who knew everything. My brother, in every way that mattered. Owen and I met sophomore year at University of Texas Austin, both working part-time at this campus bar called Lies. Management was garbage. Owner could not track inventory to save his life. We were sitting in Owen's apartment at 3 in the morning after a double shift, dead tired, eating $2 gas station tacos. We could build something better, Owen said, his voice flat, exhausted. Not dreamy, just stating a fact. I had been thinking the same thing for months. Every restaurant and bar we delivered to had the same issues. Could not track orders. Could not manage supplier relationships. The software options were all garbage, either $50,000 a year enterprise systems or cheap junk that barely worked. What if we built something specifically for restaurants and bars? I said, equipment sourcing, supplier management, inventory tracking, one platform. Owen looked at me. Really looked. We would have to stop pretending this was a side thing. Probably. Your parents would lose their minds. Definitely. We sat there in silence. Then Owen held up his last taco like a toast. We build it or we beg forever. That became our thing, our creed. Owen launched full-time with me. We called the company Kitchen Sink Restaurant Equipment Sourcing and Inventory Management. Restaurants paid us a percentage of savings plus a monthly platform fee. First year, 42 customers, $6,800 a month. Year 2, a restaurant owner in Dallas called me crying. Said we had saved his business. That call made everything worth it. Year 4, 1,800 customers in 12 states, $4 million a year. Team of 19. January this year, Series B closed 35 million valuation. My parents thought I moved boxes in restaurant supply. That was not an accident. After the way they talked to me, I kept my answers small on purpose and I kept my distance. Saw them maybe 3 times a year. Always at their house, always on their terms. My parents were not online people. They did not read business news. If it was not Cecilia's world, it did not exist. Owen did not do speeches, he did actions. And when he was angry, he got quieter, which was worse. The one thing Owen could not do was let things slide. If something needed fixing, he would work himself ragged before asking for help. There was one dinner that made it official. Random Sunday. Just my parents, Cecilia, Preston, and me around the table. Dad asked, "So Garrett, how is work?" He said it the way you ask a kid how their lemonade stand is doing. "Good," I said. "Busy still. Restaurant supply?" Mom asked. I nodded. "Yeah, we help places keep things organized." Preston laughed softly. "So you are basically the guy who makes sure forks show up on time." I did not correct him. Just let his version sit on the table between us. Dad leaned back. "Well, it is honest work." Mom reached for Cecilia's hand instead. "And you, honey, how is the new role?" The dinner snapped back into its usual orbit. I watched the subject change. My name brushed aside like crumbs, so I stopped trying to educate them. Wedding planning started 14 months before. Cecilia wanted perfect. 180,000 at the Rosewood Mansion. Preston's family kicked in 90,000. My parents mortgaged their house for the rest. "This is once in a lifetime," Mom said at the engagement party. "Cecilia deserves the wedding of her dreams." I was standing right there. I was supposed to be a groomsman, got measured for a tux. Then Preston wanted only business school friends in the wedding party. Better optics. Lost the tux deposit. 3 weeks before the wedding, the text came. I was in the kitchen sink office Tuesday night. Just closed a deal with a restaurant group in Florida. 42 locations, 18,000 a month in recurring revenue. I was reviewing the contract when my phone lit up. "Cecilia, hey, need to talk about the wedding." "Okay." "Preston's parents have been asking about family. They are really particular about image. We think it would be better if you did not come. You would probably feel more comfortable anyway." I stared at the message, read it 3 times. My throat felt tight in a way I hated. Not dramatic, just physical, like my body understood the insult before my brain did. Owen was across the office working on supplier contracts. He looked up. "You good?" I handed him my phone. He read the message. His jaw tightened. He did not blink, just stared at the screen. "What are you going to do?" I typed back one word. "Understood." Owen handed my phone back. Said nothing. Did not need to. My phone rang immediately. Cecilia calling. "Garrett. Do not be dramatic about this. I am not. You said do not come. I am not coming. It is just they are particular. Preston's family. They know everyone. And you. It is just a certain crowd. Crystal clear. This is not personal. We will do dinner after. That Italian place you like." "Sure, Cecilia. Enjoy your wedding." My voice came out steady. Empty. She should have caught that. "Garrett. Come on. Do not make this a whole thing. I am not making it anything. You made it clear where I stand. Do not call me after the photos." I hung up before she could respond. Owen was watching me. "You okay?" "No." "Good. You should not be." The next day, Mom called. I almost did not answer, but I needed to know if she was in on it. "Hi, sweetheart. I heard about the wedding situation." "The situation?" "Yes. And I wanted to call because, well, let us be fair here. Cecilia is under a lot of pressure." "Let me stop you right there," I said. My jaw was tight. "You are calling to defend the fact that my sister uninvited me from her wedding because I would embarrass her. That is what you are doing right now. I am not defending it. I am trying to help you see it from her perspective. I see it perfectly. She thinks I am beneath her new family. You are calling to make sure I do not cause problems, but I am done expecting fairness from this family." I hung up. Owen had heard the whole thing. He did not say anything, just came over and sat at my desk. "You are building something they will never understand," he said finally. "I know." "Good. Let us make it impossible to ignore." I opened my laptop. Texas Governor's Business Awards, April 23rd, same night as Cecilia's wedding. I had planned to skip the ceremony. Not anymore. I called our investor, Bill. "I am going to the ceremony. I want to be there when my name gets called." He laughed. "You are already winning. Just show up." The ceremony was black tie at the Four Seasons. Forbes was covering it. 400 attendees. I spent 4,800 on a custom Tom Ford suit, another 800 on shoes. Owen matched me. We looked like we owned boardrooms. Night of the ceremony, we rode together. Did not talk much. That was our way. You ready for this? Owen asked as we pulled into the hotel. Been ready. The ballroom was massive. Crystal chandeliers, round tables with white linens, stage with huge screens, 400 people in formal wear network. We sat at a front table with Bill, our chief financial officer, Hannah, and two early investors, both of them grinning like proud parents. Their ceremony started at 7 in the evening, same time as Cecilia's ceremony 200 meters north. But Cecilia did not walk until later, right when my phone would light up. They dragged it out the way these events always do. Applause rising as the categories narrowed. Then the governor took the microphone for first place. The room went silent. Our first place winner represents the kind of innovation Texas needs, she said. In just 4 years, they have built a company valued at $35 million serving restaurants across multiple states. The massive screens lit up with kitchen sink. Screenshots of our platform customer testimonials growth charts. Please welcome to the stage Garrett and Owen, co-founders of Kitchen Sink. We stood up together, walked to the stage side by side, shook hands with the governor. The room exploded in applause. The trophy was heavy crystal with brass accents, both our names engraved real substantial. The governor smiled. Tell us what inspired you to build Kitchen Sink. I took the mic. Owen stood beside me. Solid present. We saw restaurant owners getting crushed by broken systems, I said. My voice carried through the room. They could not negotiate with suppliers, could not track inventory. We wanted to level the playing field. And you both left college to pursue this. Yeah. Hardest decision we ever made. Our families did not understand. They thought we were throwing our lives away. The audience laughed. Some nodded. Turns out we were building them, just not the way they imagined. The room erupted standing ovation. Owen was grinning beside me. Hannah had tears in her eyes. We posed for photos with the governor, flashes going off constantly. She leaned in during one shot and said quietly, "This story is going to resonate." I hope so, I said back. Forbes posted pictures on social media later that night, tagged us, tagged Kitchen Sink, tagged the governor. Caption read, Garrett and Owen, 26 and 27, received prestigious Governor's Award for Innovation after building a $35 million company revolutionizing restaurant supply. My phone was going crazy in my jacket pocket, vibrating nonstop. Owen reached over and put his hand on my shoulder. Stay here. We spent the next 2 hours networking, reporters wanting interviews, chief executive officers asking about our growth strategy, investors pitching Series C discussions. A reporter from Austin Business Journal caught me near the bar. What advice would you give young entrepreneurs without family support? My throat tightened for a second, but I answered. Build it anyway, I said. The people who truly love you will celebrate when they see your success. And if they do not, you have built something even more valuable. You have built your independence. She wrote it down, nodded, moved on to her next question. At 10 that night, I finally checked my phone in the bathroom. 89 unread messages. Mom timestamped 7:51 in the evening. Garrett. I am seeing pictures of you with the governor. Is this real? Call me, please. Dad, 8:23 in the evening. First time his text did not sound annoyed. It sounded shaken. We need to talk. What we are seeing online. Cecilia, 9:17 in the evening. My wedding guests are all on their phones looking at your Forbes article. You did this on purpose. You wanted to ruin my day. I showed Owen. He read them, shook his head. Let it sit, he said. Do not give them the satisfaction of an immediate response. We got back to the office around midnight. Owen grabbed 2 beers from the office fridge. We sat in the dark. Our ritual after big moments. You think they will actually apologize? Owen asked. No, they will make it about them, about how embarrassed they are. He was quiet for a while. Then you good with that? Yeah. I do not need their approval anymore. I meant it. The next morning, the real flood started. Mom called at 8 in the morning. I was on a run, let it ring. She called again and again. I finally answered at 10. Standing outside a coffee shop. Garrett, what is going on? Hi, Mom. Do not hi, Mom me. Forbes the governor, a $35 million company. You kept this from us. You never asked what I actually did. You said restaurant supply. I supply restaurants with equipment and technology, and I own the company doing it. Silence on the other end. I could hear her breathing, processing. Why did not you tell us? Her voice cracked a bit, but I had learned not to mistake emotion for accountability. If I had told you 4 years ago I was starting a company that I left school to build something, would you have supported me? More silence. You have to understand, Garrett. We were worried. You dropped out. You had that tiny apartment, that old car. I was reinvesting everything into growth. That is how you build companies. But you did not ask. You just assumed I was failing and treated me accordingly. We did not know that. You did not ask. For 4 years, you treated me like a failure. You compared me to Cecilia at every single dinner. You dismissed everything I said. You told me I was a pathetic loser. You said you wished you had raised me better. And now you are upset you did not know I was succeeding. No yelling, no anger, nothing for her to deflect. We were frustrated. We did not mean those things. You said them. You meant them at the time. That is called having consequences, Mom. She tried to keep talking, started crying, started making it about her feelings. I hung up. Owen walked up with coffee, heard the whole thing. Proud of you, he said. Preston called Owen's phone that evening. Smart. Owen put it on speaker. This is Owen. Preston here. Is Garrett available? Depends what you want. Garrett's Forbes feature created complications. My parents are asking why he was not at the wedding. It is making us look bad. We need damage control. Maybe Garrett could post something supportive. Owen's face stayed neutral. Let me get this straight. You uninvited Garrett because he would embarrass you. Now you are embarrassed he is successful and you want him to fix your reputation. It is not like that. It is exactly like that. Garrett is not interested in performing for your family's image. Owen hung up. That was clean. I said Cecilia showed up at our office 3 days later. Owen intercepted her at reception and sent her away. She wanted to apologize, he said when he came back. I told her to write it down and mail it. Then the extended family call started. Aunt Kelly with her just trying to keep the peace energy. A cousin I had not spoken to in 2 years. All saying the same thing. Be the bigger person. It is family. I blocked them all. I thought the phone calls were the worst of it. I was wrong. 3 days after the awards, Helen Cordovan posted on social media a family photo from the wedding. Caption read, "Grateful for family and everyone who showed up." The comments filled with congratulations. Then I saw it. My mom had liked the post. Not commented, just liked. Quiet support that said everything. Owen showed me Cecilia's post the next day. A quote, graphic white text on gray background. Sometimes the people who hurt you most are the ones who claim to love you. Her caption, learning hard lessons about loyalty lately. The comments were sympathetic. Stay strong, you deserve better. But it got worse. A Dallas Society blog picked it up. Dallas social scene written by someone named Meredith. Owen found it first. Someone in his wife's book club group chat had forwarded the link. He brought his laptop to my desk. You need to see this. The headline, Rising Stars Wedding Overshadowed by Sibling Drama. Sources say brother's timing was intentional. The article painted me as bitter, jealous, attention-seeking. Quoted sources close to the family saying I had always struggled with my sister's success. One line stood out. Friends described the bride as devastated that her special day was used as a backdrop for her brother's business publicity stunt. No names, no facts, just implications. The article got shared in Dallas social circles. People I had never met were commenting. Most sided with Cecilia. I read it, felt my jaw tighten. My hands stayed steady, but my ears were ringing. They are really doing this, I said. Yeah, they are trying to make me the villain. I sat there, thought about responding, correcting the record. Then I realized that is exactly what they wanted. A public fight. We ignore it, I said. Owen's jaw was tight. We could respond. Set the record straight. I have got the text thread where Cecilia uninvited you. No, that is what they want, a fight they can spin. And they are calling you a publicity stunt. We have proof. I know, but responding makes it bigger, makes it real. Right now. It is a society blog nobody outside Dallas cares about. Owen stared at me, then exhaled like it hurt. You are right. I hate watching them lie about you. He rubbed his face hard. I keep wanting to hit back. It is a bad instinct. I know, but we hold the line. He nodded. Okay, good. I said we hold the line. Owen nodded. What about your parents? What about them? Your mom liked Helen's post. That is picking a side. I know. 2 days later, Dad called. Garrett, we need to talk about this situation. What situation? The article, the posts. People are asking us questions. People are asking questions because Preston's family is feeding them a story, and you and Mom are quietly agreeing with it. Silence. Then we are not agreeing with anything. We are just trying to keep the peace by liking Helen's post. Mom did that. I saw it. She was just being polite. She was taking a side, and it was not mine. Dad's voice shifted. Got that tone. Garrett, I am not saying they are right, but you have to understand you did choose the award ceremony over your sister's wedding. Stop right there. My voice came out cold sharp. Cecilia uninvited me. 3 weeks before the wedding told me not to come because I would embarrass Preston's family. Mom called to defend that decision. You said nothing, so do not try to rewrite this. That is not how they are telling it. I do not care how they are telling it. I care that you are calling me to suggest I should have skipped a major professional achievement to avoid hurting the feelings of people who told me I was not good enough to attend a family event. I hung up. Owen was at his desk. He had heard everything. That is twice he has tried the devil's advocate routine. Owen said will not be a third time. Then Preston's family made a move that actually mattered. Roger Cordovan called Bill. I did not know about it until Bill showed up at the office unannounced. Tuesday afternoon, he looked tense. We need to talk. Conference room. Owen and I followed him. Bill closed the door. Roger Cordovan contacted me this morning. My stomach tightened. About what? About you. About the company. About family drama and how it might impact the brand. Owen's jaw went tight. What did he say? He positioned it as concern. Said he had heard about difficulties between you and your family. Wanted to make sure it was not affecting your judgment. Asked if I had noticed any instability, any erratic behavior. For half a second, something cold moved through my chest. This could touch the company, everything we had built, not just me. He is trying to spook you. I said I know that, but here is the thing. He is not wrong about optics. If this becomes a story, if it gets traction beyond Dallas Society pages, it could make some Series C firms nervous. Tech investors do not like founder drama. Bill leaned back. Roger knows what he is doing. He is creating doubt, and if one board member hears about family instability from multiple sources, that doubt compounds. Did he suggest anything specific? Owen asked. He implied you might need support. Maybe a more experienced chief executive officer to take pressure off. He mentioned having connections with executive recruiters. I felt the anger rising, forced it down. He is trying to push me out of my own company. He is trying to create conditions where pushing you out looks reasonable. That is more dangerous. We sat there, the weight of it settling. What do you want to do? Bill asked. Nothing. Garrett, I am serious. We respond by doing exactly what we have been doing. Growing the company, hitting targets, showing we are stable. Roger wants me to react to look unstable. I will not give him that. Bill studied me. You sure? Yeah. Bill was quiet for a long moment. Then he nodded. I respect that. And for what it is worth, I told Roger exactly that. Told him I have worked with hundreds of founders, and you are one of the most grounded people I have met. Then I told him not to contact me again. Thank you. But Garrett, this is just round one. He is not done. We had counsel send formal cease and desist letters that afternoon. Documented Roger's contact with Bill and the board approach. We sent them certified mail to Roger, Helen, and Preston. 3 days later, Cecilia texted, not Roger, demanding to know if I had really sent cease and desist letters to Preston's parents. I said yes. They tried to interfere with my company. She accused me of tearing the family apart and said I should have just apologized. When she blamed me for ruining her wedding and choosing my ego over family, I ended it, told her to come back when she was ready to be honest, and blocked her. Owen saw my face. Cecilia. Yeah, still playing victim. She will come around. Maybe, maybe not. Either way, I am not waiting for it. 2 weeks of silence. Then Dad called. Garrett, I would like to meet, just you and me, public place, your terms. I thought about it. Thursday, 3 in the afternoon, the cafe on 5th Street. 1 hour. I will be there. Thursday came. I pulled into the cafe parking lot and saw Dad through the window. He looked smaller than I remembered. When I walked in, he stood too fast. Hey, he said. Hey. I checked the clock on my phone and set it face down on the table. 1 hour. He noticed. He did not comment. We ordered in silence. I sat. He sat. He cleared his throat. I have been thinking about what you said about us not asking. I waited. Did not help him. I told myself you would tell me if it was important. That is what you told yourself. He tried again. I was angry when you left school. I know. I made it about Grandpa about sacrifice. He rubbed a hand over his face. I looked up kitchen sink not because of Forbes, because I wanted to understand what you actually built. He took a breath. I did not understand all of it, but I understood one thing. It is real. I stared at him. Not because it fixed anything, but because it was the first time he had said something without a hook in it. I am sorry I told you to be quiet. I am sorry I treated you like a liability. He looked up at me then. I do not get to ask for forgiveness. I just want you to know. Wait. I held up a hand. He stopped. You are doing it again. What? You are starting to apologize. Getting close. Then you are going to pivot. Make an excuse. That is not accountability. His jaw tightened. Maybe I do not know how to do this perfectly, but I am here. I am trying. That should count for something. Trying is not enough. Not after 4 years of you telling me I was worthless. I am your father. Then act like it. I stood up, grabbed my key. Dad stood too. Garrett, wait. You made it impossible to show up for you. No. You are not ready for this conversation. Come back when you can state facts without defending yourself. I left. Owen was waiting in the office when I got back. How did it go? He almost got there, then defended himself. You walk out? Yeah. Owen nodded. Good. He will be back. 3 days later, Mom called. Garrett, your father told me about the meeting. I think you were too hard on him. He is hurt by what he did. I am hurt by what he did. Those are not the same thing. He is your father. He deserves some grace. He deserves exactly what he gives, which right now is half-truths. She tried a different angle. What about us? What about the family? We are struggling. The mortgage payment is hard since we put equity into the wedding. Your father's worried about his job. We were hoping you might help just temporarily. I let the silence hang, counted to 5. You want me to help pay for the wedding you excluded me from? When you put it that way, that is the only way to put it. Garrett, we are family. Family helps each other. You do not get to treat someone like garbage for 4 years, exclude them from major events, then ask for money when it is convenient. That is not family. That is a bill. Garrett, please? The answer is no. Figure it out. I hung up. Owen heard the whole thing. They are getting desperate. Good. Maybe desperation will lead to honesty. 4 weeks later, Dad called again. Garrett. I would like to try again. Same terms, same place. 1 hour. I thought about it. Thursday, same time. I will be there. This time when I walked in, Dad did not stand. He just nodded. Thank you for coming. You have got an hour. We sat. He did not wait for me to prompt him. For 4 years, I treated you like a failure, he said. His voice was steady, clear. I compared you to Cecilia constantly. I dismissed your work. I called you names. Pathetic loser, dropout, waste of potential. I said those things multiple times. I did not interrupt, just listened. When Cecilia uninvited you from her wedding, I said nothing. I let your mother call you to defend that decision. I prioritized Preston's family's comfort over your dignity. He took a breath. When I finally saw your success, I called you to suggest you chosen business over family like you were the problem. He looked at me directly. I was wrong. All of it. Every word, every dismissal. I was wrong. I sat there, let it land. Why, I asked. Why was I wrong? Why did you do it? He thought about that. Really thought. I think I was scared, he said finally. You were doing something I did not understand. And instead of asking questions, I decided you were failing because that was easier than admitting I did not understand my own son. And Cecilia? Cecilia was easy. She did things I understood. You were building something that did not fit my framework. So I told myself it was not real. He leaned forward. I am ready now. I was wrong. I am sorry. Not sorry you are upset. Sorry for what I did, for how I made you feel, for failing you as a father. I sat with that. Let the weight of it settle. What do you want from this? I asked. I want a chance to build something new. On your terms, at your pace, with your boundaries. What does that look like? You tell me. I pulled out my phone, opened a note. Monthly coffee, public place, 1 hour, no guilt trips, no excuses, no talking about Cecilia unless I bring her up. Any violation and I walk, Fair Dad said. And you do not get access to my business. No equity, no board seats, no using my success for your reputation. If people ask about me, you tell the truth. You treated me badly. I succeeded anyway. We are rebuilding. Understood. You do not get to call this reconciliation. This is a boundary-based relationship. You earned trust through consistent action over years. I understand. We sat there. Terms were clear. And if Preston's family contacts you about me or Owen or kitchen sink you, shut it down immediately. Done. We shook hands. Set the next meeting for 4 weeks out. As he left, Dad turned back. I am proud of what you built. I nodded. Show me in a year. Mom came around slower. Took 3 more months before she stopped trying to soften her apologies, but eventually she got there. Then the invitation arrived. Thick cardstock engraved lettering the Cordovan Foundation's annual leadership dinner, honoring community leaders. My name was on the guest list. Table 3 front and center. Owen brought it to my office. They are trying again. I looked at the invitation, thought about it. This is the trap, the public stage, the forced reconciliation. Yeah, we should go. Owen raised an eyebrow. What? We should go on our terms. Show up. Stay exactly 1 hour. First sign they try to control us. We walk. Why show up at all? Because they need to learn I am not afraid of them, that I will show up when and how I choose. Owen thought about it. I am coming with you. Would not have it any other way. Saturday night, we wore our Tom Ford suits. The ballroom at the Worthington Hotel was packed. 200 people in evening wear. Society photographers everywhere. Local news cameras. Helen spotted us the moment we walked in. Her face lit up. She started walking over immediately. Roger was not far behind. They reached us near the bar. All smiles. Helen's voice loud enough for nearby tables to hear. Garrett Owen. So wonderful you could make it. We are just thrilled you are here. We are here for exactly 1 hour. I said quiet, but clear. Then we are leaving. Of course. We are just so glad you came. Family is so important. I caught it immediately. The framing. Helen angled her body so a camera could catch us together. A photographer was drifting closer. We are not family, I said. Roger stepped in, smooth. Let us not do this here, Garrett. You tried to push me out of my own company. We sent cease and desist letters. His smile froze. People at nearby tables were listening now. Before I could say more, a woman in a foundation t-shirt approached. Excuse me, is everything all right? Helen's voice got louder. Everything is fine. Just a family misunderstanding. We are leaving, I said, took 1 step back. Owen mirrored me instantly. Helen reached for my arm. Owen stepped between us. Do not, he said. We turned and walked out, left them standing there with a confused event coordinator and half the room watching. In the parking lot, Owen started laughing. That was perfect. They are not getting their redemption arc. You think that is the end? That is the end. They have got nothing left. And if they try again, it becomes harassment that donors will hear about. 6 weeks after the Worthington dinner, a letter arrived. 6 pages. Certified mail from Cecilia. I read it at my desk. Owen could tell something was different. What is it? Letter from Cecilia. Long one. She admitted everything, excluding me for optics. Being embarrassed by my job and apartment. I was wrong. I was cruel. I prioritized impressing people who do not matter over the brother who should have mattered most. I chose status over family. That is on me. One line stood out. Part of me wanted to believe I was protecting you from judgment. I know now that was just me protecting my own image. I am ashamed it took blowing up my own life to see it. Another section hit harder. His mother told me I should have controlled you better. She did not ask for forgiveness, just said she understood if I never talked to her again. Owen read over my shoulder. That is real. Maybe. I pulled out my laptop and wrote back 1 page. Cecilia, thank you for your apology. I believe you are sorry, but sorry does not rebuild trust. I am not ready for a relationship. Maybe eventually not today. If you want to stay in touch, text only. No calls, no guilt trips, no involvement with Preston's parents. If you can respect those boundaries, we can text occasionally. If not, we are done. Garrett mailed it. Did not hear back for weeks. When she finally texted, it was simple. Thank you for the boundaries. I will respect them. Over the next 6 months, things stayed quiet. Mom and Dad showed up monthly, asked real questions, no guilt trips. Cecilia texted occasionally, never dumped emotion, kept it simple. She moved to Houston, new job started over. Preston's family stayed blocked permanently. Kitchen sink closed Series C in December. $55 million valuation. On track for 8 million in revenue, 26 states, 32 employees. I kept my parents on monthly coffee, kept Cecilia on text only, built a life on my terms. Owen and I were at the office late one night the following February. Year 5 of the company. Everyone else gone. Gas station tacos. He raised his taco like a toast. Still a dropout? Dropped out of being their punching bag. He laughed. That is better. We sat in comfortable silence. You good with how it played out? Owen asked. Yeah, I got what I needed. My phone buzzed. Text from Dad. See you next week for coffee. Looking forward to it. Simple. No demands. Just showing up. Another text. This one from Cecilia. New job is going well. Thank you for the boundaries. They help. No dramatic reconciliation. No tearful reunion. Just people learning to show up differently. Owen grabbed his keys. Heading home. You good? Yeah. He paused at the door. We built something. Not just the company. The whole thing. Yeah, we did. After he left, I sat there for a while. Thought about the path from that 3 a.m. conversation to here. I did not hate my family. I just needed them to see me. And when they could not, I built a life without their approval. My phone buzzed. Bill, our investor Series D interest from 2 major firms. Want to discuss next week. We are free. Let us talk. I shut down my computer, locked up, walked out into the Austin night, got in my 12-year-old Honda, drove to my modest East Austin apartment. Same car, same place, same guy, just different terms. I pulled into my parking spot, sat there for a minute, then I texted the photo to Owen. Me and him on stage with the governor, both holding the trophy. We build it, or we beg forever. Owen, damn right. I went inside, sat on my couch, cracked open a beer. Somewhere in Dallas, Cecilia was figuring out who she was without Preston's approval. But here in this small apartment, I was exactly where I needed to be. I finished my beer, turned off the lights, got ready for bed. Tomorrow, we talk Series D. Tonight, I just sat feeling the weight of 5 years. It was heavy, but it was mine.